Imagine waking up, stepping out your front door with your morning coffee, and realizing the entire map of your city has just been completely redrawn overnight.
Oh, that would be absolute chaos.
Right. I mean, the coffee shop you walk to every morning is suddenly like 3 streets over. The highway you take to work has been replaced by a sprawling pedestrian plaza. You'd be totally lost.
Yeah, I'd probably just go back to bed, honestly.
Well, according to the SEO Daily Technology Report for July 31st, 2026, that exact scenario just happened to the internet. So welcome to the deep dive.
It really is a completely new map out there.
It is. And our mission as we look at the data from July 2026 is to understand how the internet's discovery engines have fundamentally mutated.
Because it affects pretty much everyone.
Exactly. Whether you run a small business or you're trying to build an audience for your content, or even if you just use the web to, search for a weeknight recipe, the rules of being found have been completely rewritten.
Yeah, they really have.
Okay, let's unpack this. If we want to understand this new map of the internet, we have to start with the biggest player on the board. We really need to look at what Google did in July 2026.
It is absolutely the perfect place to start, because what we're looking at in this July 31st, 2026 report is the full, undeniable maturation of Google's AI overviews.
Yeah, they're literally everywhere now.
Right. They are no longer those quirky beta experiments we saw a couple of years ago. They are appearing on the vast majority of commercial and informational queries. But the real structural earthquake that launched this month is something they are calling the intelligent search box.
Right, and this is powered by Gemini 3.5 Flash. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was looking through the specs on this, and it's not just a text box anymore. It's almost like a living interface. It dynamically expands based on what you were doing, and it takes multimodal inputs.
Which is huge.
Yeah, meaning if you have a leaky pipe under your sink, you don't have to figure out how to describe the weird valve in text. You just throw a live video or like a photo of the pipe at the search box, and it understands what it's looking at.
It's incredible. It even suggests better ways for you to phrase your own questions.
And that completely changes user behavior, I would imagine.
Well, fundamentally, when you reduce the friction of a search query down to just pointing a camera, people stop typing keywords and start asking for comprehensive solutions.
That makes total sense.
Plus, Google rolled out this new AI mode in Chrome. This allows you to view traditional websites side by side with the AI's synthesized answers without ever actually leaving that AI interface.
Wow, so you're never really leaving Google.
Exactly. You are browsing the web through the lens of their artificial intelligence.
Plus, to mark the 25th anniversary of Google Images, they've added AI image generation directly into those overviews.
Right.
So if the exact image you're looking for just doesn't exist, the system can synthesize a bespoke one for you right there.
Just on the fly.
Yeah. And I look at this whole shift like hiring an incredibly proactive personal librarian.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Right. In the old days of traditional search, you'd ask a question, and the librarian would point you to a shelf and say, the 10 blue links you want are over there. Go read them.
Right, the classic 10 blue links.
Exactly. But as of July 2026, this intelligent search box librarian just pulls the best book off the shelf, opens it, reads the most relevant chapter aloud to you, and even draws you a picture to illustrate the point.
Which honestly is fantastic if you are the user.
Totally. But it sounds absolutely terrifying if you're the author who relies on foot traffic in that aisle to make a living.
And that is the crux of the issue right there. The absolute devastation this has brought to traditional SEO metrics is stark.
Give me the numbers.
Well, if we look at the hard data from July 2026, AI overviews are reducing organic clicks on the #1 traditional search result by an average of 34.5%.
Okay, 34.5%.
Yes.
Let's just pause and think about what that actually means. If you run an e-commerce store or like a digital publication, a 34% drop in traffic doesn't just mean fewer clicks on the dashboard.
No, it means lost revenue.
Right. It means you might not make payroll. That is a third of your foot traffic just gone.
Evaporated. I
Yeah.
mean, position #1, which used to be the holy grail of digital marketing, the thing companies spent millions of dollars trying to achieve, is suddenly far less valuable on its own.
Because the user never gets to it.
Exactly. Because if that personal librarian answers the question for the user, they never walk down the aisle to your link.
Wow.
So the entire strategic imperative of the internet has shifted. It is no longer just about ranking number one in a list. It is about earning what the industry calls cited in AI status.
Cited in AI.
Right. What's fascinating here is that if you aren't the source material being referenced in that AI-generated response, that top traditional spot is practically a ghost town compared to what it used to be.
That is a staggering reality check. But as massive as Google's shift is, they aren't the only ones doing this anymore, right?
Right at all.
Because we are officially moving out of Google's walled garden and into this highly fragmented new search landscape. I mean, look at ChatGPT. As of July 2026, ChatGPT commands 20% of global search traffic.
And 12% just in the US.
Right. And that market share is climbing precisely because of the aggressive data partnerships we are seeing finalized.
Oh, for sure. The massive licensing deal in July 2026 between Yelp and OpenAI is a prime example of this fragmentation.
Yeah, talk about that for a second.
Well, Yelp is essentially opening its vault, giving ChatGPT real-time local recommendation data.
So everything Yelp has.
Everything. We are talking millions of reviews, photos, business hours, and user sentiments fed directly into the model.
Wait, let me push back on this for a second. If I'm understanding the implication here with Yelp data fully integrated into ChatGPT, is the traditional search bar practically dead for finding something like a good local pizza place?
It's certainly changing the game.
Are people really just talking to a chatbot for their Friday night dinner plans instead of, pulling up a map?
Well, search itself isn't dead, but the interface we use to conduct it has completely fractured. You aren't just typing pizza near me into a blank bar and parsing through a list of links or map pins anymore.
Right, you're having a conversation.
Yes. You are conversing with different AI systems depending on what specific task you need to accomplish. The paradigm has shifted from query and click to converse and refine.
That makes sense. It's almost like choosing different consultants for different problems.
Exactly. You can think of them as having different personalities. Look at the different engines dominating as of mid-2026.
Okay.
If you are a journalist or a student and you want hard facts and research, you might bypass Google entirely and go to Perplexity.
Right, because of how it cites things.
Exactly. Perplexity's citation algorithm strictly prioritizes recent, highly authoritative sources with very clear, traceable footnotes.
But what if I'm not doing research? What if I'm planning a trip?
Then you go to ChatGPT. Its algorithm favors conversational depth and strong signals of lived experience, which is perfect for planning a multi-day itinerary in a new city.
Oh, I see.
And then you have Claude, which has carved out a niche for emphasizing highly nuanced, well-reasoned content for complex problem solving.
So as a user, you just pick your librarian based on what kind of research you were doing.
Exactly.
But as a business owner, I mean, this sounds like a nightmare. You now have to track if you are being recommended by all of them. It's not just, does Google like my website anymore?
It is vastly more complicated, which is why multi-engine monitoring is now the standard requirement for survival. Specialized tracking tools like rankscale.ai and trackings.ai have exploded in popularity.
Do you have to monitor everything?
You do. You have to know if ChatGPT recommends your pizza place, even if Perplexity doesn't know it exists, because those are two completely different user bases.
Okay, so if multiple AI engines are eating up all this search traffic, answering questions directly, and bypassing traditional websites, how do content creators actually adapt?
That's the million-dollar question.
Do you just hope the AI bot decides you are worthy? Or is there like a systematic way to handle this? Which brings us to GEO, Generative Engine Optimization.
Yes, generative engine optimization has become a mandatory mainstream discipline in 2026.
So it's not just a buzzword anymore.
No, it is the specific practice of formatting and structuring your content so it is easily ingested, understood, and most importantly, cited by these AI engines.
Okay.
And the absolute bedrock of GEO right now is the rapid adoption of the llms.txt file standard.
Let me see if I can break this down, because this is a big technical shift for anyone who manages a website.
Go for it.
In the old world, we had sitemap.xml. That is basically the floor plan of your house that you hand to Google so their bots know where the rooms are.
Right.
Then you have robots.txt, which is essentially the keep off the grass sign telling crawlers what pages they're not allowed to look at. So if I'm understanding this correctly, is llms.txt basically a VIP press kit that you hand directly to an AI bot to tell them exactly what information to read and cite.
That is a brilliant way to conceptualize it. Yes, llms.txt is specifically engineered for large language models.
Okay, how does it actually work?
Well, when an AI bot crawls a standard web page, it has to parse through a lot of visual noise. The navigation menus, the CSS styling, the sidebar ads, the pop-ups.
That's a lot of junk.
It takes computational power to figure out where the actual article is. The llms.txt file strips all of that away. It cuts through the noise and says, here is the pure, structured, unformatted information you need to understand my expertise and answer a user's question.
So you are basically spoon-feeding the AI the exact facts you wanted to know about your business in the exact format it prefers to read.
Precisely.
And does it actually work? Like, are the bots paying attention to these press kits?
The data from July 2026 is definitive. Sites adopting llms.txt alongside their traditional XML sitemaps are reporting measurable, significant increases in AI referral traffic.
Wow, so it really moves the needle.
It has moved from being a neat trick to being the absolute foundation for getting traffic. In fact, to show you how seriously the infrastructure of the internet is taking this, Cloudflare just launched their Attribution Business Insights dashboard this month.
Oh, wait, what does that do?
It gives site owners a highly targeted view of the AI bot traffic flowing into their server.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, before it was a guessing game. Now you can actually watch in real time which specific AI crawlers, whether it's OpenAI's bot or Anthropic's or Google's, are visiting your site.
And you can see what they're looking at.
Exactly. You can see exactly what pieces of your llms.txt file they are pulling to train their models or answer queries.
That is wild. You can literally watch the bots grabbing your VIP press kit. But, knowing the GEO playbook is one thing. Executing it across hundreds or thousands of pages requires serious firepower. It certainly does.
If we look at the SEO tech stack for 2026, it feels like we are looking at an arms race between automation and control.
It is a highly sophisticated arms race.
Yeah.
The software industry has had to evolve dramatically to keep up with the speed at which AI engines are updating their knowledge bases.
Let's talk about the actual mechanics then. If I want to play in this multi-engine world, what am I using?
Right.
The report highlights Semrush One, which seems to have evolved into this massive all-in-one command center. They've integrated an AI copilot feature and built-in multi-engine visibility tracking.
Yeah, they've really stepped it up.
Then you have RFs, which is still the technical powerhouse. The report notes their link index now refreshes every 15 to 30 minutes for top domains. Why is that specific refresh rate such a big deal?
Because of the conversational nature of AI search.
Okay, how so? Well, if a user asks ChatGPT about a breaking news event or a new product launch, the AI needs real-time data to provide an accurate answer. If Ahrefs is updating its index every 15 minutes, it allows SEO professionals to see almost instantly how new content is propagating across the web.
Oh, so you can see how the AI engines are reacting to it in real time.
Exactly. In the old days, you'd wait weeks to see if a backlink moved your ranking. Now you can measure the impact within the hour.
So speed is literally everything.
Everything.
And for the actual writing and optimizing of the content, Surfer SEO is still ranked as the top NLP tool. NLP being natural language processing.
Right.
As I understand it, that tool basically analyzes the top-ranking articles for a topic, finds all the related terms that a true expert would naturally use, and scores your content to make sure you sound authoritative to a machine.
That's right. Those tools are the foundational pillars. But the really aggressive shift we are seeing in July 2026 is the maturity of the AI automation platforms.
Like what?
We are looking at tools like AirOps, which integrates multiple models, GPT, Claude, and Gemini into one workflow.
Oh, wow.
And there's Koala AI, which bundles content generation, chat, and image creation into a single automated workspace. And Writesonic's new professional tiers are churning out long-form articles with built-in schema markup already coded in.
Okay, I have to stop you there because this raises a massive red flag for me.
Let's hear it.
With all these tools, Koala, AirOps, Writesonic generating, optimizing, structuring, and publishing SEO content at this massive automated scale, aren't we just risking drowning the entire internet in an ocean of AI-generated slop?
That is the big concern.
Because if machines are just churning out articles for other machines to read, where does this end? Doesn't the whole system just break down?
That is the existential question of the 2026 internet. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, that exact fear is why the SEO industry underwent a massive pivot over the last few months, culminating in July.
Really? What kind of pivot?
The focus of these advanced tools has fundamentally shifted away from pure, unfiltered content generation. It is no longer about pressing a button and letting the AI publish 500 articles.
Thank goodness.
Right. The discipline is now entirely centered on AI content quality control.
So human-in-the-loop editing.
Exactly. Fact-checking workflows. We are seeing the rise of programmatic SEO, where the AI handles the heavy lifting of data structuring, formatting, and drafting.
But someone still has to read it.
Yes, a human expert must verify the narrative, inject personal anecdotes, and check the facts. These platforms have turned SEO into a semi-automated production line, yes, but the premium differentiator, the thing that actually convinces Google or ChatGPT to cite you, is that layer of human oversight.
So the automation gets you to the starting line, but the human gets you the ranking.
Perfectly said.
Which perfectly tees up how Google is fighting back against that ocean of AI spam. Because they aren't just rolling over and letting the machines take over their index entirely. They're actively mathematically rewarding genuine human experience.
Yes, through EEAT. Experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness.
Right.
Years ago, these were just somewhat abstract guidelines in a PDF for human quality raters. But by mid-2026, they are hard, heavily weighted ranking signals embedded deep in the core algorithm.
Especially for sensitive stuff, right?
Exactly, especially for anything involving your money or your life topics. Health, finance, legal advice.
Here's where it gets really interesting to me. In the most technologically advanced age of artificial intelligence, where bots can write thousands of grammatically perfect words a second, the rawest, most unpolished human experience is suddenly the most valuable real estate on the web.
It's quite the paradox.
It is. Look at this wild statistic from the July report. Following the May 2026 core update, Reddit's share of the top 3 search positions rose to a staggering 10.24%.
That's huge.
And meanwhile, YouTube dropped to 2.14%. Google is actively prioritizing messy, slang-filled community threads and small blogs with lived experience over highly polished, faceless corporate websites.
It is a brilliant, if somewhat chaotic, countermeasure against AI-generated content. Think about it. A machine can write a flawless, perfectly structured 2,000-word article on how to fix a refrigerator compressor.
Sure.
But the machine has never actually held a wrench. It hasn't scraped its knuckles on the back of the fridge. It doesn't know that one specific screw is always roasted tight.
Right. It doesn't have the war stories.
Exactly. Google's algorithms have been aggressively tuned to detect and elevate that authentic human signal, because that is the one thing the AI cannot hallucinate.
And Google is giving creators more tools to prove and track this human signal, right?
They are.
Because if you look at the Google Search Console updates from July 2026, they rolled out generative AI performance reports, so you can finally see how often your site is appearing in AI overviews.
Which is so necessary.
Yeah. They also introduced platform properties to track how your social media and video posts perform on Search and Discover, integrating your whole brand footprint.
It's all connected now.
And they even finally fixed that long-standing links report bug.
Finally. All of which points to transparency. And significantly, in all this documentation, Google reaffirmed that traditional HTML remains the standard format for SEO, explicitly pushing back against the idea that Markdown is enough.
Okay, wait. Explain the difference there for someone who isn't a web developer. Why does the AI care if I use HTML versus Markdown? Markdown is super clean and lightweight, right?
Markdown is great for writing, but it lacks deep structural meaning.
How do you mean?
Well, in Markdown, a piece of text might be bolded, but the AI doesn't know why it's bolded. HTML, on the other hand, allows for rich semantic data. You can nest tags, you can add microdata.
I see.
You can tell the AI, this string of numbers isn't just text, it's the price of a product in US dollars. HTML gives the machine context, and context is everything for the human signal, which brings us to the critical importance of entity SEO and schema markup.
Okay, so when you say entity SEO, it sounds to me like building a verified digital ID card for a brand. Is that what we were talking about?
That is exactly what it is. You are defining reality for a machine. AI systems don't understand abstract concepts. They rely on clear mathematical definitions to understand what a person, a business, or an idea actually is.
Right.
By using structured data, specifically JSON LD schema markup for things like FAQs, how-tos, or organization details, you are explicitly hard-coding your digital ID card.
So JSON-LD is basically A digital name tag you pin to your website's code so the AI doesn't have to guess what your page is about.
Precisely. You are telling the AI, I am a real entity. I am located in this physical city. I have these credentials, and I have this specific expertise.
And Google is pushing this.
No, Google doubled down on this in July 2026 by introducing search profiles for publishers, allowing creators to consolidate their articles, videos, and social posts into one verified shareable space.
So they can see your entire human footprint in one place.
Right. And what this ultimately means is that SEO and traditional PR public relations are now inseparable disciplines. You cannot just hack a keyword density anymore.
Those days are over.
Completely over. You need actual press mentions, you need industry citations, you need podcast interviews, and a strong, recognizable brand presence across multiple platforms. Investment in genuine brand building is the only way to build the trustworthiness part of EET.
Because the AI needs to verify you.
Exactly. The AI requires clear, corroborated definitions from across the entire web to trust a source enough to cite it as fact.
So what does this all mean? If you are listening to this right now, whether you are running a local business, managing a corporate marketing team, or just trying to be an informed citizen navigating the web as of July 31st, 2026, you need to understand that the internet is no longer just a passive library of links.
It's totally different.
It is an active synthesizing machine. The AI is filtering your reality, deciding which chapters of which books you get to read. But the beautiful irony is that to get chosen by that machine, you paradoxically have to prove how intensely human you are. You have to build real authority.
It is a fascinating dynamic, but this raises a very important, somewhat existential question, one that the data points toward but hasn't fully answered yet.
What's that?
If search engines and AI platforms are now just synthesizing answers directly from creators, and those creators are losing 34.5% of their traffic, they're also losing their revenue.
Right, we talked about that.
So will websites eventually start producing the high-quality, human-driven content that these AI engines rely on to learn? If the creators go out of business, what does the AI summarize? Are we watching the AI snake eat its own tail?
Wow. That is a truly chilling thought to end on. If the map keeps redrawing itself in a way that cuts out the people mapping the territory, eventually the cartographers might just pack up and stop drawing altogether.
It's a real possibility.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the massive shifts of the July 31st, 2026 landscape. We covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from intelligent search boxes to VIP press kits for bots. Stay curious out there, keep proving you're human, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.